Hey, but welcome to the Hills YTH Podcast. We don't talk about money often, but we just did.
But donate to us.
Donate.
We need money. We got a new room
Seriously,
coming up.
this is falling apart. If you love the Hills YTH Podcast, just dial up 1-800-HILLS-YOUTH 55555. But we're excited. This is a big one. This is our senior and Graham podcast, guys. Graham will disappear when you fast forward to the next part. But give it up for Graham, everybody. Graham McWilliams. He's here with half a truck. I like 75% of a truck. 80%.
Give me 85.
I'd be 85, 83.
Yeah, something like that.
But such a
Can I
teenager
ask a
thing.
question?
Yeah.
What made you think that was a good idea?
Insert picture here. Video footage.
Have you ever wanted to live, Bryce? No.
Why don't you tell the fans the story?
So,
Tell Mrs. Stewart the Estradas.
look, the only reason I'm saying this is because my parents don't even watch the podcast.
Your mom does. I got called out for that.
Actually.
No. What? But didn't you say like? Yeah, my mom was.
That was like 6 months ago. They're way behind. You're gonna get a call 8 months from now, and then I'm gonna be grounded. And
I've
like, I wonder
watched.
what happened there. And it's gonna be my mom finally catching up on the podcast. Shout out to my mom. But there was a tree that didn't like me, and I didn't like the tree. And Bear, I was like, you know what? Bear's probably gonna take the tree out. I'm gonna help him out with it. So, and I actually got a text from Bear last week. It's like, thanks for helping me with landscaping, bro. And so, I swear, I'll throw the screenshot up there, too.
Thank you for landscaping.
And, so I just figured, I would, it was raining, it was dark outside, I would really, really, really like to take the tree
He
out.
thought he was Bruce Wayne in his whip, just trying to just
white
knock over
blue
walls.
Pickup truck from 1997.
Well, that's Graham. That's your guys' host. I still can't believe we have a Band-Aid holding that boom mic together. It's disgusting. That's a PV fix right there. And we got Mattie Brown returning to the podcast, third episode. That's a big deal.
I know.
People like you. What is this hat on your head? We got Mattie Brown on the podcast. This is the third one. That's awesome.
Amazing.
Welcome back. You just went to a what concert was it? What's his name?
Forrest Frank.
Forrest Frank. You're graduating. You're already kicking off your summer. Nice.
I know.
That's
It's
incredible.
Pretty good. I have been crying for the last 2 weeks.
It's emotional.
It is pretty.
What's on your hat? You were telling us you don't have to take it off. I don't want your hair to be all
Oh no.
frazzled.
It's my graduation cap. I will take it off. Actually.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh. Look at it if you can see it. Everybody look. It's beautiful. It has pictures of every one of my friends on there.
Did any Hills Youth people make it on there?
Yes.
Did I make it on there?
No.
Ah!
So
He's crying.
keep that. Keep the hat. I made it yesterday.
We gotta pass the hat around to them. Vaughn, do you see where you're not on it?
You're gonna get ginger on you, dude. It's nasty.
Oh, that's what
Here, Bryce.
Hold up.
That's awesome. So
Mattie, you've been wearing this backwards. Yeah, this side goes in the back.
That's what I said. I had it on that way.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Mattie, no, you didn't. Let's go back and rewatch that.
that's
I've had it on
embarrassing.
the right way the whole time.
No, you haven't.
Your
Are you serious?
Yes.
Your 4 years have been a lie.
Are you serious? Wait. No, I've had it on this way the whole time, the way it's on right now.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think she has.
Okay.
You got to practice turning the what's it called? I already forgot what it's called.
The tassel.
I'm going to go this
Tassel?
way, though.
Basically, like it starts off.
That's not right. What is that?
It starts up on your right side, and then as you graduate.
No.
you-
Yeah,
It goes to your left side.
Yeah, I said it starts on your right. You move it to the left.
Okay, I don't understand. I just know that I'll
Listen.
be there and that it'll
Be
be
an exciting
thrown in
podcast.
there.
Do you guys? I know, right? This started off nice. Do you guys have to practice throwing your hats and walking?
I hope not.
My school literally made us. You guys don't have a walkthrough? of
No, we
sitting?
have a walkthrough and we have a practice. You're
Yeah,
supposed
you have to go to practice like 8 in the morning.
Yeah, they make us practice the tassel
Really?
and the pretend throw and everything just so it's so organized. Which I feel was like we didn't get to paint our parking lots. We didn't do
didn't
any of
either.
that. But
That's-
we'll get
that's
into all
weird
this.
because
We'll
you-
get in. I'm getting it way too far into this. I'm sorry. This is just an intro.
He peaked in high
I
school.
Yeah,
wonder if
I did. I love
Did
talking about
Kyle
high
get
school.
to paint his parking spot?
Kyle got to paint his imaginary friend. That's their senior gift. Oh, there's Kyle right there. Kyle just came in. We're going to introduce him in a second. Bryce, but give it for Bryce Sandoval. This is what episode are we on? Can we do some of 20? Are we at 20 yet? 15? 12? 11? 10? Well, you've been on all of them, basically.
I've been on pretty much all of them except for like 4 or 5.
Bryce, it's been an incredible journey for you.
It has
5
been.
years to get through high school, but you've done it. Is that made up? What's one word to describe how you feel right now? Can't wait to watch this podcast, guys. It's going to be incredible, but thank you for tuning in. I can't even see him. He's right behind the light. Look at him. He looks like the lamp from Pixar.
Before we even start. Always got to drink the water.
I'm calling, dude, to get here.
Dude, we're keeping this whole intro, Kyle, on. Like,
you can. That's how tired I am.
This is unlike you. You got here quick, though. That's concerning, bro.
You're
breathing hard like you ran here, but you drove here. Your adrenaline must have been high.
Let me say. I live by FHS. All I got to do is fly down Pinion Hills, and I'll be right here.
Yeah, everyone on that podcast knows. They literally do, actually. They probably all know.
They do.
Get us some viewers, dude, from Utah or something.
I don't know.
Dang it. All right, here we go. So
That's a jab for sure.
Bryce, what is your word that you're feeling right now? Because it's sadly the thing cut off on us and we didn't get to finish.
Oh, probably.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Dude, you're giving off Eeyore vibes right now, dude.
What do you mean Eeyore?
Oh boy.
I'm going to Disneyland. I'm going to see Eeyore.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Just say, look in that camera. You won the Super Bowl. Instead of Disney World, I'm going to Disneyland.
I'm going to Disneyland.
See, that's exciting. Look how excited he actually is, though.
My mom, or as my mom would say, Disneyland.
Disneyland. Disney.
No, one word that I would use to describe myself right now is, well, other than constipated, probably excited.
What the?
I feel that.
I ate some Chinese food yesterday that is not agreeing with my stomach.
Nah, Bryce, I feel that.
He's never
I got
brought up
you.
any constipation so far.
But excited because it's a new chapter in all of our lives. Excited because I'm not going to have to see Vaughn every week.
Why'd you have to throw that in there?
Excited because I finally get to walk on the stage, get my diploma, and see what life has to offer. See what God is got planned for me.
I'm glad you finally threw God in there after constipation, not seeing me in.
Dude, that Chinese food is not agreeing with me.
What Chinese food? What was it?
I went to the Asian bistro. It was
I love
it was so like
Asian.
I've never had it.
It was so good.
Mattie,
I've been
fix
there
your hair.
plenty-
I can't look at Bryce and just see
I've
him.
been there plenty of times. It was so good. But like
Bro.
I don't know. Maybe I
Dang,
just
Vaughn.
overate or something, but like it was not agreeing with me last night and I still have some issues this morning.
Man, Asian bistros and leaving people on red. It's a crazy
Smelled like
thing.
pot.
That we have. Graham is so salty right now that he's not on this podcast. If you heard a noise in the back, he's throwing around furniture. He's reenacting Jesus flipping tables in the temple.
It's the Roy
John
Road.
Rush on
Flipping
Rush
tables.
conference.
Is Jesus angry or is making a point okay sometimes? You
Well, I
know,
think
when you read that passage.
I think making a point is totally okay sometimes. I don't think Jesus is inherently angry, really, ever.
Good verbiage.
But I think that to make a point, you have to at least this is what my mom says. She's like, I don't like yelling at you, but I have to.
What's one thing in this? What's one thing in these 4 years for you guys going into this last year of life where you're like, you have a moment of going like, I am so over this, and it could be anything. It could be from living at home. It could have got driving your own car, having that freedom, but like you're over this.
Running into trees.
Yeah. With the intro, that was wild, Graham. But like, were you guys like ready to get a job? Over not having money? What is one thing you remember this past 4 years that you're like, I'm ready for this responsibility?
Oh, okay. So
Anybody? It can be anybody.
two things. The big thing is like high school just kind of gets stale at a certain point. Like you're still having fun with like your friends and all that stuff, but like at some point you're just like, why am I still here? I've been doing this for over 1,000 days and I'm tired. Like
He's counting days.
And like even with some certain teachers, I'm like, I really liked you at the beginning of the year, and now as the year progresses, I'm like, you're kind of a butthole.
Do you feel like your teachers are a butthole sometimes?
I got to be careful with this. Yes.
Yeah, your parents are for sure watching.
I know. She'll watch this and be like, you're never going back on that again.
Yeah, it's a bad show, bad idea.
Us homeschoolers, man, are going to get boycotted from like outside time. You know what I'm saying?
We'll get to that second point. Don't forget it, Bryce. But we got homeschool, we have Pedro Vista, and we have Farmington High School. We got all the flavors of the rainbow, basically. So, and San Juan College, shout out Taylor. Congratulations. Shout out Liz.
Liz isn't graduating.
No, she's not. She's next year. I was talking about finishing
my
school.
girlfriend graduated this morning.
Taylor and someone else, not Liz. Who else graduated? What am I missing right now?
I think she's our only person from San Juan College that's a senior.
We had 20 kids come up as seniors on that baton.
Dude,
night.
I was like, I've never seen you two before. What are you doing?
Chief graduated. Chief graduated.
Chief will graduate with me.
The Liz thing threw me off because I talked to her at Costa Vida, and she's like, I'm done with school, and that threw me off mentally there for a second. So it wasn't Liz, but who else?
I don't think we have anybody else from San Juan College High School.
Is that it? Okay.
I think next year you'll have quite a couple because
Yeah.
you got Jake, you got Graham, you got Liz.
That's true. I can't believe you're out of here, Graham. You're going to go back to San Juan College for another associates. So Bryce, your second point about freedoms and what you're over.
Second point. I'm probably going to get smacked for this. But
By
I'm
who?
kind of just...
By who?
My parents.
You've had beef with your mom on the past 2 podcasts,
Never.
Bryce.
I love my mom. She's the greatest person I know. But I'm
What about
kind
your
of...
dad? No,
I'm kind of excited to
Yikes.
I'm kind of excited to see what it's like to live on my own.
You're not living on your own for 6 months,
I'm not living
Bryce.
on my own for a while because of basic and AIT. But once I start getting into the groove of things, I get into my own barracks room and all that stuff.
Oh.
Getting to see what it's like to live on my own and doing all that stuff. Because at a certain, I think for all of us at a certain age, it's kind of okay, I'm kind of ready to move on.
Yeah. Moving on. It's learn that, and then you realize it's not all what it's cracked up to be. Then you're knocking at your parents' door going, can I live with you? I got so many bills.
Mom, I love you 100%. But I'm just kind of ready to.
That was the most untruthful 100% I've ever heard in my life.
I'm just, at some points, I'm just kind of ready. I'm kind of
yeah, it's true, though.
It's time.
What about you, Mattie?
Honestly, there's not too many that I can think of. I'm just ready to be treated like an adult. I can be immature. I can be, and I know that. But be respected.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
It's not gonna happen.
I feel okay. Well, Vaughn.
No one respects gingers. Mattie.
Anyways, okay. You know what? Why did you invite me on this podcast?
So we can ridicule you? That's the only way that we
This
can
is
do
going to
this?
be labeled podcast number, whatever it is.
We respected you.
Ridiculing
We
gingers.
respected
That's
you
what
when
we're
you
going to
had-
say. Throwing shots at gingers the whole time.
We respected you when you had your full accent, but you started losing it, and now we just have lost respect for
Now
you.
you sound like a Farmington person. They're annoying.
I'm done making my point now. You can move on.
It's the goal.
Dude,
Keep going.
we're cooked.
All right, no, seriously, go ahead. Take this
And
seriously, Mattie. This is a podcast seen
I
by the world.
also, going on with Bryce, just living on my own is a big thing. I guess not necessarily living. I guess I'll have a dorm person, whatever they're called.
Do you have it
and,
finalized? Living in a dorm where?
Literally no idea.
Okay.
But that'll come when it comes. And so, just living on my own and all the times that I've moved, state to state, I've been with my parents and that's who I've had. And I feel this time it's my turn to move off and not necessarily have anyone to rely on. And so I think that's a big step, and it's just kind of I'm not necessarily over moving around with my parents. I love them, but being able to take that step and be fully independent in that.
What's established, Kyle, and this is going to be way different from you because you're going to probably have a different perspective. You're going to stay at home for a couple years.
Yeah.
Probably. If I say couple, a year, whatever it is. Well, what makes kind of for you wanting to stay here and not utilize living on your own right away out of high school? And
I don't make enough money. I'm
It's
broke.
okay.
Good point. Good point.
I really couldn't live on my own with the income I have because I work for the church still and all that stuff.
Come on,
And,
bro. It's hurtful, bro.
No. But I'm saying is I work 15-hour weeks, dude.
I can't
That's
afford the
not-
rest of my shorts.
Yeah, dude. We can tell.
This was the worst shorts to wear in a
Weirdo.
podcast.
But I want to stay here and I want to be a youth pastor one day. So I don't really find right now college for me the smartest option. It's I would rather just kind of get
He said youth
experience.
pastor college is not the smartest option.
It's not. Because, you're just going to run into a ton of student debt, and then half the time, dude, most people hire off experience.
Or just pull a Vaughn and go and do whatever you want to do, and then finally, 30 years later, be like, I'm going to go get my master's degree.
Dude, you think I was trying to figure out my life when I was an infant, bro? 30 years later?
Yeah, dude,
I
what
don't
are you
know,
doing, bro?
You're an old
Vaughn,
man
you live
now.
in a gated community in Albuquerque. How do you not have your life
The
together?
fact that you guys said I live in a gated community is so far-fetched,
he's
bro. What do I
Still
order?
have
What do I own? A Ford Bronco and sponsored by Ford Broncos, dude? I'm not.
Her parents do. There you go. You just took a shot at the ginger again.
Gosh dang it! I wasn't even trying to make a shot at you.
Unintentionally
It's okay, I
taking shots at the ginger.
Then you guys have a sick Ford Bronco though.
Thank
the all
you.
black one is sick.
Thanks.
Thanks. It's not yours. Cam board. I have a really cool conversation other than whatever you guys were talking
Vaughn
about.
graduated 100 years ago. So
It wasn't 100 years ago. I can't believe it's been about 10 years though. That's the crazy thing. Anyways, before you rudely
Vaughn,
interrupted
you're
me.
31. You graduated 13 years ago.
Yeah, didn't you say no?
No.
You're 2013, right?
2013.
You just talked about this yesterday. 12 years ago.
You're old. Hey, you want to know what? My sister Camden was born in 2013.
And I became
Whatever
wiser.
this is.
Wait. We're not. Are we gonna go back to the part you said where you're wiser?
Yeah, dude, I'm wise. Ask me anything. Go.
I will.
No,
say,
give me any.
I will say, he's
Maddie,
gotten
give
a little
me
bit
any
smarter
two
about
numbers.
games.
Watch this. Give me any two numbers. Go.
1,988. You just want two, or you want?
Yeah, give me two numbers.
Okay. And
I mean, that's what he said.
28,543,000.
As soon as you
Two.
said million,
Okay.
his eyes went. Like,
I've heard of those numbers. See,
Yeah.
it's not that hard.
Yeah.
Wisdom
I'm
is.
pretty sure that's the
goes on
first time you've ever
exercise.
heard those numbers. No, that's cap.
Actually, they were. Those were pretty crazy numbers
like-
that she was throwing
he's
out
trying
there.
to cover up right now.
She's like reading license plates. So, Bryce, question. Finals week, and this is for all of you. Did you have finals week?
No,
Okay.
I've never taken a final in my life.
Yeah, this isn't pertaining to you. This could be in general. What energy drink or coffee order did you have to go like, I need to survive? Grams is literally just powder scoop of pre-workout in
He said
adrenaline
meth.
rush.
That dude said meth back there.
So I only had 2 finals because I only had 2 classes. Loser.
Dang.
I had Senate and
He's
I
so
had AP Government. But I don't drink coffee or energy drinks. I just go in on a prayer.
Okay, Bon Jovi. All right. Next. Good for you, though.
I didn't either. I just showed up.
You guys just went in and just no.
Well, energy drinks are
If I
terrible
had to, I'd go
for
White
you.
Monster.
Well,
Or,
Energy drinks
White
are
Red Bull.
terrible
Sorry,
for
White
you.
Red Bull.
so I
And
hear
I
that.
just never
Not
liked
Red Bull.
coffee.
But I didn't either. But you guys seem like you guys always have a drink in your hand or something like Dr. Pepper. Like
I
I've
got a
never seen you
Dr.
guys not
Pepper
have a
in my
drink or like
hands.
pop. Shout out pop. I've never not seen you guys with a drink, so I'm surprised that you guys go into finals.
Well, I'm also late to my first hour every day, so
You're late to your own final. Is that allowed to be late to a final?
I was late to my AP test. Yeah.
And your teacher in AP let you take the test right there?
Right
Usually
there.
they're like, oh, well, you're late. You're going to have to wait to take my test.
No.
Dang.
I had a really good first hour teacher. Shout out Mr. Johnston.
Having a
a
good first hour
king.
teacher is the biggest
Is-
win.
Johnston. And then my second hour is Mr. Johnson, which not to be
Roy?
confused. Yeah, Roy.
Roy's like my grandpa.
Roy is really
Here we go. We've
mean.
heard this story 18,000 times about your grandpa.
Roy is
dude.
not mean. He expects perfection.
How many
Roy's
pe-
finger goes that way.
Wait, what?
How many?
Roy has a finger like Roy's hands look like this.
Did
Wow,
you
way
just
to
flip
make
off the
fun of
camera?
Roy.
I saw
You're
that.
just making fun of Roy like that.
Did-
What did Roy do to you? Just throwing shade at Roy. He's like just lopsided fingers. Like that's messed up.
Never mind.
Did you ever like
Shut
get
down.
frustrated with people calling you Maddie?
No, I don't really tell the difference.
Can
Are
you
talking about,
emphasize the
like,
T's? Are you supposed to emphasize the T's
So-
in
I
your
don't
name?
know, but
Vaughn,
like
so what I
if you
did-
co-
For like a year, I just put her on my phone as redhead.
Do you find that
Straight
awkward?
up. Like I'm not kidding.
Raggedy Ann.
No, I didn't put that. I just put straight up redhead. Like she was in my phone for a year of just
Oh.
Orphan
redhead.
Annie.
That's probably why people get left on red.
Clifford the big red dog.
anyway, no, but I got called just Mattie B a lot. Like
I
Mattie
hate
B
that.
raps.
I hate
Because
that.
that's my name, so I couldn't.
I don't
have
hate your
that.
name, Maddie B though.
Yeah, the guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Maddie
Are
B.
you that old? Yeah,
Yeah,
Mattie
I'm that
B.
old.
Maddie
Someone said I look like Benson Boone the other day, and I had to Google who that is because I wear a headband now because my hair's a little longer.
That I almost.
You're
said
definitely as flamboyant as him. I'll
But
say
I'm like,
that.
I saw a
Benson
picture. I'm like,
Boone
that's the dude that sings like
has-
Queen and had terrible Coachella performance. Yeah.
Benson
I mean,
Boone
Vaughn,
sings that
you
one
are as
song.
flamboyant as that dude.
No, I'm not.
Dude, like,
What do you
when-
got to say about Benson Boone?
It's so funny, like, going downtown and you see your youth pastor running in his, like, 3-inch shorts and his tank top.
3 inches.
I'm 3 inches is wild, dude.
3-inch shorts is nice.
what's
Dude, that's
w-
like you're being nice then.
This is your generation is very emotional, and you allow music to dictate your life and
Real.
emotions and direction in life. What song dictated your senior year? Like, you put it on before your senior year, like, this is my song.
Oh, so I played this song, like, as I was leaving from my
Probably gonna
last
be
final.
Frank Sinatra or like.
No, it was not Frank Sinatra. It was Dog Days Are Over. Played that when I was leaving.
Country, right?
No.
No? What
No.
Dog Days Are Over?
Play it.
No, it's
Put it in here.
You ever seen the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
Oh, okay. That was your song you chose?
That was a song I
Oh.
chose because, like, I just felt like it kind of emphasized, like, you know, those days are over. We're moving on.
Oh.
Go.
Bryce is ready to get going. I guess high school wasn't so bad. What a
No,
ridiculous
high school really
Instagram
wasn't.
note.
Like looking back on it, it really wasn't that bad. There were times where I hated it, and I was like, I wish all of you would
Actually, I have a song.
like just never mind.
Oh,
yeah. I'm on the opposite
boy.
end. I hated high school. I want it to be over.
Did you hate your classmates?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
siblings
like
are tough.
there were really
Siblings are
good
tough.
moments too. Like I made some of the best friends in high school. Like I did all that stuff. So like it was just like, high school was very good, but like there were times where I just hated it.
No way.
Mine was exit music for a film by Radiohead. I listened to that
Radiohead?
every day for the
This
last
is
2
throwing me
weeks.
off. I'm like, you guys went retro for your guys'.
I prefer retro music.
I love Fleetwood Mac, so no shade on them. But why is that our graduation song?
That's Fleetwood Mac, your graduation
Yeah.
song? Oh, such a ridiculous choice.
Or it was unwritten, and they chose.
By Natasha Bedingfield?
Yeah,
That's a good song, though.
isn't it? It makes sense. But they chose Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
It's because they wanted to go with the hype song. And they're going to look back on that and go, why did we choose this a hype
don't
song and not
know.
what's real? I thought about that the other day, but we had Ain't No Mountain High for ours.
Ours is Forever Young.
Forever young, I want to be. Come on.
Forever
Did you have the
young.
Jay-Z version? Because
No, it's the original.
that would be better, though. The Jay-Z version of that song is pretty solid, though.
I'm like it's an okay graduation song. I would.
Didn't you have a say in this? Because aren't you like...
Yeah, I did, but this entire student body.
Did you
does.
choose the Guardians of the Galaxy 3
Yeah, I
song?
did.
Yeah, okay. Kyle, what's your graduation song if you had one?
Dude, I have no clue.
MGK?
No, not this time around.
Probably something.
That was
by
junior
Kanye.
year, you know, not senior year. I don't really know. I didn't really like pick a song where I was like, this is gonna be my year. I just went through high school. I feel like a normal human being.
No,
I
so
don't
you
know.
guys aren't normal.
They're not
'cause
normal.
He
They
didn't
pick
pick,
the whole
he didn't
song,
pick a
but
song, so
yeah, I
you...
didn't pick a song. You guys like themed
So, like,
out
how
your
does
whole
it
thing
feel-
with
What's
the
wrong with
song.
theming, Kyle?
I think it's weird.
How does it feel that you're gonna just be on stage with people that you have never met before?
What's someone college's graduate song gonna be? Mathematical?
Theirs was
Computer
I can't remember
startups?
what it was. It was something by Kesha and Macklemore.
for Taylor when she graduated?
that was
Is it
their-
Good Old Days?
Yes, Good Old
Yeah.
Days was their graduation song.
Oh, dude, you're so done for, bro.
You're cooked, bro.
Hey, you made You Purpose. Congratulations. You Have Purpose or whatever it's
You
called.
Have
You
Purpose.
Matter. They can't even spell it out correctly.
Matter.
I'm just bashing. I'm not going to make it here.
I will
Are
say
you on
this year's
ChatGPT?
You Matter
I made the
group.
questions.
This year's everyone from Farmington High School that they picked for this You Matter group this year
Ooh.
was an alcoholic.
This is why he's on a suspension. He's on a 1-week suspension from the podcast.
What
if you,
happened?
So what if you guys could have, like movie titles, you see the Universal tag pop up.
Oh,
like
yeah.
what song kicks off your guys' movie of your life, of your high school career? What song bumps right away? Unwritten? Is that the song?
I'm
that,
gonna have to think.
I think about Too Fast, Too Furious. That song, that opener with the Universal.
Oh yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Dude, that used to be like my dad's go-to song to test every single bass. Like, thing he
Dude,
has done in his
classic
life.
opener. But like, what would you
Classic.
guys have? A24 would open my
Ooh.
movie.
A24.
That's the best production company right now. Anybody know what A24 even is?
No.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do y'all know what my senior quote was?
Okay, we're just
That
gonna go
wasn't
off
the
topic
question.
now. We're gonna go senior quote. What was it?
It was "Get up, because Mickey loves you" from Rocky.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
Feeling
I thought you were a Christian, but we're getting there. so that's
I
fine.
can't.
You need 2 mics to catch this, bro. You tripping, dog?
No.
That's
I
good.
can't say that.
What did I put for mine? Oh, I put Isaiah 40:31.
Yeah, they were gonna pick a Bible. Yeah, they were gonna pick a Bible verse.
Yeah.
No, that's what I did. I put 2 Timothy 1:7.
Natty.
I put a Bible verse and no one voted for it.
No one voted for it. You mean
No,
one
we
in your
got one
school?
from like I think our senior quote was by like Macklemore or something like that.
That makes sense. he's not even famous anymore, and people are still quoting Macklemore. He just toured in Albuquerque. That I was like, he still has fans.
He peaked with the Thrift Shop album, and
Exactly.
That was it.
What's your quote?
I didn't, dude. Homeschoolers don't just make a yearbook. It would be a sheet of paper, bro.
Why, hey, dude? Give homeschoolers some credit.
No,
You guys go.
no,
to
you
it.
were in the Hills.
I was in
Academy
the
one.
Hills school one, yeah, as a janitor. It just says custodian on the bottom of it. Dude, it's so funny. And it's the most generic photo, too. I'm like standing on the wall.
The rest
and
is
one
still
of the teachers
unwritten.
was like, I need a picture of you. I'm like,
Oh.
just go. And then she just takes the picture. And it's the most like basic thing. I don't know. I would put like high school. Okay, here we go. Here would be my quote. High school's like toilet paper. Sometimes you're on a roll. Sometimes you're taking crap from people.
Yeah.
That's what I would roll out.
Do you know one of the classes for homeschoolers are dad jokes 101?
No, actually, they're not.
What class will you not miss?
What class?
Chemistry.
Yeah, I feel that.
Chemistry in the 2000s
Chemistry.
sucks, dude. What happened? Like,
Or-
the
Dude,
cool
like
experiments?
Geometry.
when I went into chemistry, I was like, yeah, we're gonna like make like different mixtures of chemicals.
He thought he was
like,
going
we're
to
gonna see some
Hogwarts. I
things
can see how that.
explode
Numbers
and
in
like
this
fire
town.
and all that stuff. You want to know what we learned about? Global warming and mollusks.
It's fake.
Dude,
No.
Jaden Smith.
What? Where did we?
Where
get
did Jaden Smith
come
go?
in?
He's all about global warming and the economic state of the climate of
Yeah,
America.
this dude put a castle on his head. I'm not gonna listen to anything you said.
Yeah,
John
yeah.
Smith.
John Smith.
That's what I thought you were talking.
They're just
Jaden
about as
Smith.
crazy.
Joseph Smith.
He had,
No, not that.
he
Smith.
had literally, in point of Kanye, one of the best albums of all time and completely changed his whole genre like an absolute buffoon. Yeah.
Okay.
Remember when
Wait,
he was a Christian? Kanye West.
Still could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Listen, y'all giving up hope and it's going to happen.
You gave up hope too. You told me the same thing.
We don't need to talk about my side life. Okay, I'm telling.
Yeah, where are we going with this?
I
You
don't know.
stuttered
Anyways,
6
what
times.
class are you not gonna miss? Did you ever go to school? So like, do you miss it? Like, do you have any
Yes.
connection with your classes?
I did. Well, not with like the junior class.
Got him. She didn't go junior year. Parents, there you go. I wonder why she had so many absences.
I did actually. I had like over 30 absences in my first hour. Yes.
Even my mic was upset with you.
I do, and I made up
tough.
every one of those no grades. You guys don't do no grades, right?
No, our school doesn't care.
Our school.
Our
Bryce,
ex-
cares.
Bryce,
except they
remember,
are-
I had to stay here when you leave, dude.
They're-
So the comments you make on this podcast.
They're cracking down though.
Right.
Like so next year, like
No phones, no life,
phones,
no
phones.
fun.
No more pajama bottoms at school, which I hate anyway.
Thinking, what is
I
it,
hate-
Walmart
I
at
hate it
school
when
now?
people
What are we
bring-
doing? Like walking in here looking.
I hate it when people
Walmart?
wear.
You ever been to Walmart
I love
at the late
Walmart.
wee
Oh,
hours?
that makes so much sense.
Bro,
You love Walmart.
I go to Walmart all the time.
You are
Gingers at
white
Walmart.
trash, aren't you?
Gingers at Walmart. That should
No.
be
That
like
should
a,
be-
that should be a
yeah.
Hulu show. That should be a Hulu show.
Great value
Ginger
is the
at
best
Walmart.
value.
They're
That
grabbing-
is the title.
Yeah.
Great value is the best value, featuring Mattie.
I mean,
Bryce and Kyle.
I mean, it makes sense. Isn't like having ginger hair like a sign of inbreeding?
It is. No.
Gosh,
it is.
dang it,
Sorry.
dude.
This
Kyle.
is what I signed up for to get on the podcast.
Kyle,
bro.
what was so
Okay.
in homeschool? What are you gonna not miss the most about homeschool? Because you guys had it nice. You could wake up, do a
Oh, dude, like
certain
when I
hours of
was
work.
Sophomore year, I woke up at 10 o'clock.
But you were in a slump though because of that, weren't you? Weren't you behind?
No, it wasn't because of that. That was because of like freshman year. I don't even remember, dude. High school's been like the schooling for me has just been a blur.
Oh,
But
yeah,
what will
I hear that.
what will I miss the most about it?
What are you doing? That was so annoying, and I don't have
You know what?
headphones
I know
on.
what I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
ASMR.
I'm walking out. I walked in
Don't
late.
walk
and I'm
out.
gonna walk out.
No,
early.
don't. No
I'm just kidding.
walkouts allowed.
I would say probably the thing I'll miss the most, honestly, is a lot of the free time I had. Like homeschooling had a lot of free time to just learn stuff and do stuff you wanted to learn.
That's cool.
Like
Imagine.
I tell everyone I'm YouTube certified because I can learn anything on YouTube. if I
Couldn't your
want to.
dad ran a shop class for you?
Yeah, he could have. He kind of did. We worked on cars with him for.
That's dope. That would have been
yeah.
great.
We've worked on cars with him for years. I mean, we did a whole lift one time. That was terrible.
That's fun though.
It's fun.
At the end.
It's till you guys start holding the flashlight, then it's not fun.
Oh, lift up the
It's-
flashlight.
dude, I'm gonna talk about that in my message a little bit because it's like a great illustration next week, dude. But like, it's literally like you're holding the flashlight and you're like so focused
Listen to me
on
and
not
Bryce's
messing up,
conversation.
you end up messing up, and then you get to talking of like, you don't need to see, I do. Put the flashlight right there.
Dude, it's real. You guys you guys planned the whole side conversation. It was so hard to, dude. They did. Yeah, listen, dude. The whole. He's literally doing. This is homeschool for Kyle. This is public school kids.
This is a credit for me.
This
I have
is
to
film
have this
class.
to graduate. Screw y'all. I have to have this to
So wait.
graduate.
When do
Good
you go to
job.
Phoenix to graduate?
A Friday or
You go to
this-
Phoenix to graduate?
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah, with people he
going.
doesn't
I'm
even
going
know.
down Thursday and I graduate Friday.
Oh.
Yeah,
We should have just done it here.
No, I'm not going to Albuquerque.
No.
to go-
I mean, like,
we
you
live
should
in
have just
Farmington,
walked.
Kyle.
You
Yeah, but
should
that's
have.
the place you do it for homeschoolers. Is Albuquerque?
They're saying just do it here.
No. You should have just done it here at the church on a Sunday night. Been like, okay, this is our graduate, Kyle Stewart.
Vaughn could have given you your diploma.
That's such a
Vaughn
classic
coulda-
youth group
Matt
situation.
Mizell.
Hold on. Can I just hit a one-letter? No.
No.
Like,
Wow.
Like
Wow.
No.
Oh.
No. I
You
am
could have
going
been the
to Arizona.
valedictorian.
I could have
You
been.
could have been the
No, my siblings
salutatorian
would've kicked me
and
out.
the dumbest person in class.
Dude,
The class
I learned to
clown.
like on a serious
Dang,
note. Like,
Bryce. Jeez,
good
Louise.
lord. At least I had a life. Like, good
Yeah,
lord.
I know.
Getting shots from Bryce, dude.
I'm sorry.
So I used to take classes for stuff. Like, wasn't like fully homeschooled. We used to do classes and stuff too. These gingers, man. So I used to take classes, bro. I learned if you were the class clown and the teacher's pet at the same time, you could get away with everything, bro. I used to fall asleep like in those classes every day, like pinpoint time, dude. History, I was asleep the whole class.
While your mom was teaching you?
No, it wasn't my mom. I did fall asleep in one of the classes she taught. I thought I was gonna get grounded.
On your
straight
kitchen
up.
table, you fell asleep?
No, we did them at other churches.
Oh,
We'd be
the co-ops?
Yeah, the co-ops.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep one time in my mom's, in her class, and I woke up, and we got done, and she's like, "It looks like you fell asleep." I was like, "I did. I'll have the paper on your desk next week." Had the paper on her desk next week, which was just like her bathroom. No,
Dang, how,
bathroom counter.
how do you have that separation, like her going, turn in your paper, and like it's like, that's your mom talking, you kind of want to talk back, but it's your teacher?
no, never had that.
No, I would have been
I've always been like a mama's boy, so like I never wanted to do that to my mom.
the mama's boys.
Wow.
Bryce is not a
No,
fan.
Dude, Bryce throws so much hate at his mom.
I do not.
Yeah, he does.
No, I don't.
I love
It
you,
is.
mom. I love my
Oh,
mom.
so it's
Love
supposed
you.
to be about God?
Hi, mom.
We're getting through
I
stuff,
love my
Mattie.
mom.
We're having conversations.
I said it first.
Sorry,
It's
I
the senior.
do have work at 2.
You said that. We're good. Maddie, you're ridiculous right now. You can't just have a good conversation.
I'm having
'Cause she's
good
a ginger.
conversation.
Do you not like this podcast?
I love this podcast.
In regards to all these things you've experienced, all the either like regrets or cool things that you've had from homeschool experience, things you wouldn't change, and in high school, things that you're ready for leaving high school. There's a lot of things that you guys learned along the way. And the biggest thing I think for you guys, why you're here, is the biggest thing was your growth spiritually.
Yes. That
That transforms your ins and outs of life and how you respond to things and navigate things. Because truly, there was really in the really spiritual growth and growth in life. Everyone thinks that there's one thing that takes you in this direction the rest of your life, and it's going to be a staircase. If we're honest, there's ups, there's plateaus. There might be little curves, little downs, like we're getting into relationships. And what's interesting to me is we do all these series, right? We do all these series, and people go, well, why don't you just focus and read the Bible? Well, think about it, is we do series within our youth group because we're breaking down certain topics and utilize the gospel in these areas. So when a situation comes up, so when you're at your youth group, your friend comes to you, man, I'm having these friend issues. And we just got asking for a friend series. Let's let the whole series. That shows you're just not paying attention to the content. And then stuff hits the fan, and then you leave because you blame everyone else for not being equipped. But what now? When it's getting real. You're leaving high school. Your parents are giving you responsibility. You own your own apartment. You get your own jobs, and there's big things. Now it's on you to navigate life. And if the firm foundation is always been a friend, a guy or girl you've dated, Mattie was the guy. Okay. Girls for these two. But if your life has been solely focused on those relationships and those friends, and all of a sudden they're not in your life, you're going to boot camp, going to be in barracks, you're going to meet new people, surrounded by new people, and if you were really just needing a core group of people and never kind of got out and learned how to navigate life with others, it could be difficult. Now, I want to throw a couple of questions at you guys, just stating that. How has your faith grown or changed during your time in youth group?
Okay.
Coming to the close of your senior year.
I am going to be. I'll talk about this. So, I'll be really honest, guys. First, 2 years of my time in youth group, I was starting to form that relationship with Christ and doing all of that stuff, and but there was more. There was less about God. It was more about just coming and being oh, cool. These guys are friends. I have friends here now, and so my relationship with Christ wasn't the strongest, and I'll admit that. I was coming to youth, and my relationship was not where it needed to be. I was really stagnant. I was still doing my old sins.
Can you describe stagnant for the audience? What does stagnant mean for you?
Staying where I was. There was no
Your choice to stay, or you didn't know?
It was my choice to stay.
Okay.
I wasn't pushing myself to grow or anything. I open my Bible once a week, which, yeah. I'm still not the best at opening my Bible every day, but I'm better now. But, you know, things happen and, like, you get that wake-up call. And for me, that was, like, real early, like, beginning of my junior year. Like, I got that wake-up call, and I was like, oh, shoot, like, I need to...
Holy Spirit was not tugging on you, bro.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shoot, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm still on the side watching pornography, and on this side, I'm like, oh, I go to youth group. I'm holy, like, all that stuff. But then I got that wake-up call, and I was like, no, I'm like that lukewarm, not even lukewarm. I was probably a cold Christian at that point.
Was church a substitute for, like, because people, like, go, they have these addictions, but then they're not so bought into youth group, but they say they're part of something. Is it just being a part of something that makes you feel like you're better?
I think
it's almost
so. I think it was almost like, well, I'm going to youth group every Sunday. This means Jesus forgives me.
Okay, yeah.
But I like, after I was challenged in my faith, after I was challenged and, like, crap hit the fan in my life, like, it's like I need to settle down and I need to figure out myself. So started forming that relationship with Christ, started forming that relationship with guys in my life group, and started talking about, like, what I was actually struggling with, not just the things that I was, like, okay with people hearing about, but everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And because of, like, those things, like, I believe that from where I started in 8th grade to where I am now, I'm, like, completely different person. Like, after I quit watching pornography, after I really started forming my relationship with God, like, I could notice, like, my confidence was going up. I wasn't as insecure about things, and I was able to talk in front of people. And so, like, just from where I started to where I am now is, like, night and day. And yeah, so, like,
I love that. Bryce, I want to tag this into Kyle. Kyle, how do you taste and see the Lord is good if you're in the midst of anger or addiction or sin? That's not even possible, is it? To really thrive when in the middle of your sin?
Anger maybe, but, like, addiction, no, because like, anger, you can sometimes use God to calm you down and be like, all right, I need to chill out because I'm gonna be sinning even harder if I don't chill. You know what I mean? Because I've been there. Because, like, if I don't go, sometimes, like, all right, I'm a leader at a church, even though this guy cut me off in the road and I'm blasting the F word out my mouth. It's like, I got to remember sometimes of, like, what my identity is and what I am and not the person I don't want to be anymore. I think addiction's a little different because it's like if you actively know you're sinning and then you're not changing your ways, I mean, you're just sitting in sin. You can't really, you got to use him as a way out and not just kind of throw him on the back burner. In a sense.
And you feel empty, right?
Yeah.
You're walking with God, but everything you're reading or in the Bible and trying to seek out God, I seem like I'm not getting any ground in my walk. You been there, Mattie? You ever felt that before?
Mm-hmm.
Not getting any ground. Have you ever felt stuck at any point in your 4 years in high school?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, not even just through school, but, like, spiritually, there's a lot of times where I've just, like Bryce is saying, like, stagnant, and it's always been up to me. It's always been up to me to make the difference. It's always been up to me to make a change. Like, I've always had the opportunity to read my word and to go to church and to do all these things. Like, it was my choice, but I sat in my, like, stillness, and I sat being content with where I was, and I don't think there's any growth in comfort. And I talk about this all the time. There's no growth in staying where you are. You have to be uncomfortable to grow. And so I think the biggest thing, like, I've been stagnant in so many areas of my walk. Even now, sometimes I'll run into that. And I think sometimes it's because, and I always talk about idols, it's because we idolize other things in our life. We idolize, going back to, like, Bryce, or even what you were saying earlier today, like, you can idolize your friends. Like, okay, I have these friends. Like, this is who I depend on. This is who I have. And you kind of put these people in the forefront of your mind, and it just takes a lot of place from where the Lord should sit. And I think that can create, like, stillness. That can create a lot of just, I'm not moving, I'm not growing. And I think that when your focus shifts from the Lord, or even is distracted from the Lord, you become stagnant in your walk. And one of the major things for me was when I first moved here.
Yeah.
Because I moved here, like, middle of freshman year.
It's an interesting spot for you as a freshman coming in.
Absolutely. And I wasn't necessarily angry at God because I had a lot of time to, like, process it, but I was angry at myself at the end for letting myself become stagnant in that and letting myself doubt the reasons that God had for my family to be here. And I just remember coming into it and even coming into this youth group, and I was so passionate about things, and I was like, no, like I know the Lord is good and I'm gonna do it. And then I kind of fell into a rut, like somewhere in the middle, and I was just like almost towards summer, I was just like, you know, like I don't understand what I'm doing here. I don't understand my purpose. Like, God, like you brought me here. Like, what am I doing? And I just sat without growing. I didn't move. I didn't try to put a bunch of.
Have you left that? Have you moved on? Have you healed from that? Have you?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
And the reason for
I
that
believe
is,
so. I don't care what you guys think.
well, I didn't know if you were like saying like I don't think so, but I think that I went to camp this past summer, and a bunch of people would come over and prayed over like the same things, and I was like, you know, like this is like a train. Like people were starting to pray these things over my life, and they were starting to like proclaim things over me that I hadn't even like realized. And when I came back from camp, my vision had completely been changed about like my purpose here.
Wow.
Because even though like I don't see it, and even though I don't necessarily understand it all the time, I did come to realize that, you know, like Mattie, like you have this foundation with God. You know God, you've tasted and you've seen the things of God, and you're sitting here and you're saying you're stagnant because you're asking, what can I get? What can I get out of this? What can I go to youth group and get out of it? And I came to realize that when you enter the kingdom of God, it's not about what can I get anymore. It's about how can I grow it. And I took that moment and I really like thought about it. And this whole time I've been sitting here wondering, like, why am I not getting full? Why can't I not feel anything? Like, I don't have to feel it to know it's true. I don't have to feel it to know, okay, I know I'm going on such a rampage, but our generation idolizes feeling so
I can see
much.
that.
And I just think that like I was idolizing that in my life a lot. And so, yeah, I didn't feel like I was moving. I didn't feel like I had a good foundation. I didn't feel like it. But in reality, like the Lord was there with me the entire time. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. And coming to realize that it wasn't about me and that it wasn't about what I can feel, I took a step and started doing my own like Bible study with girls. And
Yeah.
it was literally to do
I was going
what
to talk
we
about
do.
this, and you do it. Talk about
I'm
it.
sorry. And the reason I did it was because literally our entire purpose here at youth is like go make disciples. And that doesn't mean that I have to stay here to do that. And sometimes we were sitting here going, oh, I'll make disciples. Let me bring these people and let me make disciples in the church.
You could have do it off the Sunday night, but that's totally fine.
Anyways.
I knew that was coming.
She started talking.
I was waiting for him to say something.
But I realized that it doesn't necessarily like it. We look for disciples in the church. Mm-hmm. We look for people we can grow in the church.
And we keep them in the building and not go out. Yeah.
And we do those things. And I started to realize that these people that are coming to church are getting what they need and they're being fed. Who is not being fed? Who can I feed? And not necessarily who can I feed, but who can the Lord feed through me? How can I be a vessel for him? And so I created Set Apart. And that's a big major turning point in like living here, just because.
Who are you handing that off to?
I've been praying about it, and there's specific people that I feel like I could bring it to, but I feel like there's a lot. It's my calling. I don't know if it's theirs. Does that make sense? It's something that I feel like I was called to.
Should it die with you though?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all. I think right now I'm still just praying, and honestly, like I feel like the Lord hasn't necessarily highlighted anyone specifically yet. But I know that when that time comes, he's going to. And, that's cool. You know, it's not my timing, but.
Yeah, you'll eat it. You're staying in Farmington.
No, I'm not. But, yeah, that was a big thing for me.
I have this email from.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no.
On November 17th, 2022.
No, please don't read that out loud. Guys, I was trying to act really sophisticated.
We're going to let the crowd decide. Are we going to create a poll at the bottom?
Send it.
Vaughn, I don't want
Hey, Mr. Vaughn. My name is Mattie Brown. I'm from Louisiana. I'm a freshman in high school. And in a few weeks, I'll be moving to New Mexico and potentially attending the youth group there. Potentially, whatever. I'm going to be going. She sent this to multiple youth pastors in the community.
Everybody.
I'm gonna be going to PV High School there. Look at that. I'm going to be going to PV now. You're graduating PV. Isn't that cool? I'm not sure if you have met my dad, Matt Brown. Okay, name drop. But he has been attending for a few months at the church and has talked to Jessica Rogers. And I believe about me coming to the group because Jessica Rogers has 2 kiddos in the group. That's pretty cool. I'm so very excited to be coming. Yeah, right, because she just talked about that.
She hates it
I'm from another youth group here in Louisiana called J17. Shout out, come on.
Shout out J17.
And it's
Yay.
absolutely amazing. And I'm super involved there. And even though I'm pretty young, the Lord really and truly is moving through my life. Last year, I started a group called Set Apart. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. It's expanding.
Where I met up with
You know
40.
what's still going on there, right?
That's what I'm
Set
saying.
Apart's
Don't
still
let it die
happening
here
there.
then.
I know, okay.
But no, shout that out. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool.
That's so amazing. Look at the Lord. He's so cool.
He is, isn't it? This is like a telling. This is cooler than you thought. Where I met up with 40 middle school girls at school. Wow, to just talk about the Lord and how we can be set apart as He has chosen us to be. That's it. Come on, that's a statement. It was amazing just what the Lord was doing right there in that classroom through the girls' hearts, and I'm super excited to be coming there and just to be involved in the youth group and spreading the word of God through a way bigger platform like PV. It's true. Can't wait to see what He has in store for me and my family here. All this was to basically introduce myself, and I'll be at church this Sunday to visit before we officially move. Can't wait to speak to you about everything. Have a great rest of your day. Sent from my iPhone. I just did that at the end. And then
so smart
I wrote her
sounding.
a very heartwarming response. Hey, look forward to meeting you Sunday.
With a thumbs up.
Hey,
Hashtag dad
I went to a
keyboard.
Bible study with some of the youth a couple weeks back and met some more youth then. But other than that, I really haven't. Just moved in today
This is 2022,
and trying to
guys.
get situated. But
So weird.
I went ahead and followed the youth group on social media to get somewhat connected. Look at that, guys. Just click and follow, and you just never know. You can unfollow later. But if you're looking
No,
to,
don't do that. Just
if you're
stay
looking to
following.
fill a youth group look at what I do see. Okay, let me be honest about the social media. Social media is super deceiving. Okay, and I believe, and I'll say this: I think our youth group shows every ounce of it. So if you were to show up, we're not trying to do close-ups. Like, if you're looking for a crowded place, no youth group has that. There's major youth groups that post their social media all close-ups of everything. Yeah, they have thousands of kids, but it looks way bigger and extreme. But you go, and they still see wires, and it's still not always what social media cracks it up to be. But find something that's real and that works for you. If that's what you're all about, to fit in with the crowd, go for it. But if you're looking for someplace real, man, there's so many great youth groups. DM us, and we'll get you connected with your youth group. It doesn't have to be Hills Youth. It could be J17 if you're from Louisiana. If you have questions about other youth groups here in town, reach out. We'll get you connected with our youth pastor because we are one church, and that's how that works. So, and Mattie kind of talked about that. Like, we exist to make disciples. So if it's not under our umbrella, go set apart. God's called you something. That's amazing. And we talked about J17. I'm sure there's going to be memories. Let's talk about it. Youth group memories. Ooh. They could be exciting. They could be crazy. They could be funny. They could be just a moment in your high school career that you're like, I'll never forget this event or moment or experience. Go ahead. Floor is your guys'.
So it was my first year at youth in the summer, and this is when Vaughn was an immature little youth pastor, and he.
Hey guys, welcome to youth group. We're gonna go ahead and break noses today.
I would say fun.
He let us play fun games.
Yeah, it stopped too.
He let us play fun games, and we were playing a game called watermelon soccer. And it was me, my friend Braden, my friend Remington, and we were going up against Doyle.
So Bryce, so Graham was there.
Graham was there, and
yeah.
We were playing, and it got really intense, and Graham ended up breaking Remington's nose, and I didn't realize this. So it was just literally me and Braden versus Graham and these two girls. The girls like did nothing. I'm pretty sure I kicked one of them. Anyway, me and Braden ended up winning. Pretty great. And then I was like, where's Remington? And everybody's like, he's inside. I'm like, okay. So I go inside, and Chad's like messing with him. I'm like, hey, Rem, what's going on? He looks at me, and his nose is like on the side.
It was
of
winking
his
at us,
face.
dude. That thing was winking at us.
It was at the side of his.
He was like,
just laying flat down. I'm like
a champ, dude. Like a champ. Like he wasn't.
Okay. And he didn't. It
Love
didn't.
it.
He was like, it doesn't even hurt. Doesn't even hurt. I'm like, okay. That's.
Remington looks feminine, but he can handle things.
His nose is
Just
still
kidding.
crooked to this day.
His nose is still crooked to this day. But yeah, I got to.
I'm gonna see if they actually watch.
The pictures of him in surgery to get his nose refixed, and
He looks like Owen Wilson.
doctor didn't do too good of a
Okay.
job because it still goes like this.
He was supposed to go in for a second surgery, and he said, "No, I want it crooked."
So when you stand next to
What he said.
Remington, it looks like he's like has his weird breathing when he's like. Just kidding. None of that's true. But he did break his nose. It was sideways. It was winking. Graham, how did you was it your shoulder? Did you throw a blow? Oh, your forehead.
Oh, I thought it was your shoulder.
Gosh, so your forehead went to the side. We headbutted.
Right, like he's here, I'm here. We were right in front of each other.
Boom.
I went low because I'm like.
Yeah. Oh, he kind of went up.
I know I need to go down.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And he like
Holy
I think
moly.
we should bring it back.
And I have multiple memories,
I mean, it
but
went fine in
since we're on
Vicito.
Graham breaking noses, I was just playing catch with him about 5 feet apart, and he tries catching a football with his finger straight out. I don't know, it was a weird technique.
Ow.
Broke his finger when playing catch
Ow.
at youth group, dude. There's so many memories, dude. What do you guys have?
You took me
memories
on
of
a
yours?
trip. You took me on a trip, and you taught me a whole bunch of things about Albuquerque.
Yes, Bryce, where you headed with this?
I will not. If you want to hear the whole story,
Vaughn's
you
like, I did my first drug in that alley
find
right
me
there.
in person, and I will teach you.
No, we're not
everything
funny
that
in
Vaughn has taught me.
person. We're gonna have a premium service that you guys can pay to watch the extended conversation.
Patreon.
But no, that trip with Vaughn and Graham and G and Zeke was so totally fun. Except
Hey, moment of
for the
silence for
fact-
Zeke. Moment of silence for Zeke.
Moment of silence.
Oh, hold on.
Anyways, there you go.
Except for the fact that Vaughn left me with this crazy lady to do kitchen work. I was sitting
It's for a
there
wedding.
for 4 hours washing dishes, dishes, and serving these people. And I'm like, they were a hummus family. What is with white people and
Hummus
hummus?
family, dude.
What is with white people and hummus? So I'm just
You like hummus?
putting out the hummus. Like it was so weird. What was it? It was like a tray full of just assorted foods, like sausages and crackers and
So it's a
rice
charcuterie
and
board?
stuff.
Yeah,
Was it-
charcuterie
It
board.
was like a
Bryce is
charcuterie board,
offended
but
by
it was their main
charcuteries.
course.
I'm not.
It
Yeah.
was their main course.
It was their main
and
course.
it was so weird. And that lady like wanted perfection. I'm like, I get it's a wedding, but I'm 17.
It was a rain delay too, so it was busy in the house because it was a really nice
And
home.
it was okay, this is another thing. It was like most of the people in that family were tall. So it was like I had to like dodge and weave between all these guys, and I'm just going like doop, 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 doop.
It was a busy one. Graham
It
was getting it. G was getting it. Did Zeke do anything? So
Zeke was helping you DJ
That's right. That's right. No, he didn't do anything. Just kidding, Zeke.
while I was washing dishes like Cinderella.
See,
I don't know if you should end on that.
what other moments? What moments do you have in youth group, Mattie? Give us some Louisiana moments,
Oh, in Louisiana.
or here.
Oh, I
Doesn't
was
matter.
thinking of. I
Yeah,
was
do
trying
here.
to like go through everything. Louisiana.
It doesn't have to be funny or crazy. It can
Why
be
did you
something
just
Yeah, I
fun.
was gonna say,
stare
I
into
just-
space like
I don't
that?
have a whole bunch of funny
like, what
ones.
story?
Like, no, I do remember.
Is that like a trigger word, Louisiana?
No, I remember though. I can give you a memory from Alabama.
Ooh, Alabama.
I grew up Pentecostal.
Shabbat up sheep.
That was the greatest reaction we could have got
And-
from those two.
And so
What is this?
and I remember, and a lot of people in that area were Pentecostal or Baptist, which is two extremes. And so, I went with one of my friends to one of her Pentecostal churches, and it was like
One of hers.
like high uppy, like she was really rich. So I went with her, and I show up, and I'm wearing my long dress with my long hair, whatnot, and I go to this service, and we're sitting down and watching, and there's it's like the most Pentecostal thing I've ever seen in my life. And I'm standing there, and there's just people screaming in the back. You're just the whole service, I'm under 9 years. Yeah, and it literally is like that the whole
That's
time,
even
and
what they're
we're not
saying.
even singing. It's no one's talking, and they're just screaming
So
in
like
the
that
back.
one guy at our church,
It's called the Holy Spirit movie. No,
the Amen guy.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
him. And then they start running into the baptism pits, and that's pretty much where it all went black.
We're gonna have two cuts of this
What
story,
kind of
and
black?
Bryce is just doing this the whole time.
Wait,
while
wait,
she's
what
talking.
kind of
as
black?
he's doing the story, he's like,
I hope that happens.
Pentecost.
I do.
That's it.
That's
That
what we
was
all know.
Mattie. That was one of the most wild stories I've ever heard in my life, and
Thank you.
they missed it. I think the Wi-Fi cut out. But Kyle, you have some interesting stories.
So for those of you who I've been here since 6th grade, and before there was Rush Conference, there was Vicito. Okay,
Sorry.
shout out.
That's how Kyle live it, right? It's always when Kyle's talking too.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Customer.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I was gonna go back to what I was saying.
Go ahead.
Before there's Rush Conference, there's
There was Camp
Vicito.
Vita.
Yeah.
We promoted those suckers with shout out Counselor Randy. Shout out Counselor Randy for those who know. But we did these Vicito trips, and there was always something crazy that happened. But here's what I remember. Shout out Chad for this one. So
Chad crushed it.
we are sitting at Brad Salzman's place, and it's pouring rain, and the girls decide to come and spray us with water guns in the pouring rain. Me and my older brother at the time were just sitting by the fire pit. They spray us with water. One dude got soaked with a bucket of water. And me and my brother were like, it's raining. It doesn't even matter that we got a little wet. Like, who cares? Well, Chad comes rolling up to us, and he's like, hey, bro, if you want to get back at them, go unpitch their tents. No. But
I'm glad we're name dropping Chad on this because he never admitted it. He threw a student under the bus.
No, it was so Chad. Chad was the one who told us. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm out of your group in like 3 weeks anyway, so it's okay.
Yes. Yeah, he's graduating.
So, straight up, he tells us straight up, like, go unpitch their tent. So me and my older brother just puts his hand on me. He's like, don't move. I'm like, what? I was like, I wasn't going to move anyways. He's like, this is going to end horribly. I'm like, all right. He's like, just sit and wait. So they unpitch their tents, like 5 guys do it. All of a sudden, about
5 guys?
It's a good burger joint.
Yum.
It's a great burger joint.
Are you trying to do an ad here that we're not getting money?
Five
Go to
Guys,
Five
the Willy
Guys.
Wonkas of burger craft, and incredibly expensive.
Why was he so good at that?
Pay
But
$90
okay,
to a
there was like
burger.
6 people. I don't even remember. Okay, I'm just gonna change it to 6 so they don't. There was a bunch of guys that were gonna go. They unpitched their tents, and about 10 minutes later, we get. Oh my gosh, our stuff is all wet because the wind blew over their tents and their stuff got soaked.
The wind didn't blow over their tents, Kyle.
Hey, G, is my mic still on? I
They
think I might have
were
pressed the button.
unhinged.
Yeah, but I'm saying the wind started moving everything. too,
Oh,
'cause it was windy.
oh.
No, when you unpitch
You looked at me like I was coming at you wrong on this
yeah,
story.
I was like, Vaughn, what are you talking about? So like everything just moved and everyone's screaming, our stuff is soaked. The girls come running into me and TJ and they're like, do you unpitch our tents? And we're like, nope, we stayed here. And they're like, who was it? And we're like, I don't know. Like
was
we,
those 5
we actually
guys.
threw no one under the bus on that moment.
4.
no, everyone thought it was one student,
But
but
everyone thought it was one student, but it
Yeah.
was like a collective
Name drop,
group
name
of
drop.
like,
no, not name
This was-
dropping.
a ton of stuff at Vicito. And then remember the squirrel? Do you want me to get in on the squirrel? at
Brad
Vicito?
Salzman, talk about it.
So what happened was this. I will quote Brad Salzman. He goes, "These dang squirrels," and he comes out with the pellet gun, starts shooting every squirrel in this tree.
Middle of his sleep.
That's my
He's out in his
grandpa.
boxers.
Yeah,
This is straight
no,
up
this
Brad's.
wasn't boxers.
Oh, this one was
This
boxers.
wasn't boxers. So
You sure?
he shoots the squirrel,
I'm not actually related
and
to
it's
Roy,
bleeding
but
out in this tree,
been in my
like
life since I
dripping
was
blood
7.
out of this tree. So it finally dies, and we were like, "Hey, throw it in Vaughn's hat," because we had Vaughn's hat at the time. That was like a running gag in the youth group to steal Vaughn's weird hats. Yeah. So we steal it. Where my dad was like, "Hey." He was like,
What?
just don't put the bloody
Who was
squirrel in his
gonna
hat.
steal
Put it in a
me?
Ziploc bag. So we put the squirrel in a Ziploc bag. Put it in Vaughn's hat. And he comes in. And when he comes off, we give it back to Vaughn. Vaughn drops the hat and takes off running and screaming like a little schoolgirl. Like, straight up, he was just like, ah! And just took off running, dude.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, dude. It was crazy. Dude, Vicito trips were so fun.
They were
That
good.
would have been even funnier because this was before he lost the weight.
They were. What? Give me a commercial right now. I'm doing an advertisement right now.
Okay,
I'm
here
gonna
we
need
go,
background
here we
music.
go,
All
here
right,
we
so
go.
me in. Here we go. I'm gonna need some background music here. If you're a youth pastor and you order Little Caesars and drink White Monsters, you can join and try the Holy Spirit Ozempic. It will change your life. You will flatten out like a pancake in no time.
You've been on it for 6 years and you haven't
Sign up for Rush Conference.
Sign up for Rush Conference is crazy. Yeah, dude. Vicito trips are like straight up. Vicito trips were just, dude, those are some of the best trips ever. Straight up.
They were good.
They were good.
They were the precursor to Rush Conference, and Rush Conference is awesome. I love
Way
Rush.
better than Vicito for sure.
I got stuck in a river at Rush Conference and floated downstream a little bit.
Keep this rolling real quick.
Remington had to save me.
What?
Wait, explain that.
When was
So
that?
at Tico
was the
time,
year I was
I
gone.
got in the river, and it got really deep,
Oh, that's
and-
right.
and Remington had to save me with a fishing pole.
Why did no one know about this?
Because you
say
guys
the
like
fishing
literally do not care about our safety.
No, we care.
Please come to Rush Conference. I care about your safety.
We
He
care about
doesn't.
your safety. I will not be there, but we care about your safety.
I will.
Yeah, Bryce, you
I
gave
will.
up on us, dude.
Guess the
No,
parents.
I'm doing better things. I am protecting our country,
Perfecting it.
He said
and we'll
protect-
perfect it one
I heard
day.
Make
protecting.
America great again.
Bryce,
Can we put that?
2040.
Can we do politics on here?
Yeah, say something about politics,
2048.
Mattie.
No, I don't have much.
That's what I thought. You have all these cool. You have all. You have all these cool stories, and you guys have all these great experiences. What is your advice to a younger kid in our youth group? To how to experience Christ through these and find joy. Because I'm listening to these as a youth group kid. I'm like, man, I want to have these friends. I want to have these experiences. How do you get the? What was the face when I said friends?
I was gonna answer your question, before Ginger over here decided.
Yeah, make sure that when you come to youth group, watch out for gingers. I've noticed that a bunch of the sixth
Dude,
a bunch of the sixth graders are coming up and they got red heads.
Bro, Bryce, it ain't no joke, dude. Like, you gotta watch out for them riding in on that rainbow, bro. That pot of gold, dude. They're like speeding down that rainbow, dude, and then you're like,
you started this.
Yeah.
Gingers are black.
I've had a lot of like really cool experiences with youth group.
We have.
I'm sitting here and I'm going, how do I get to be where you guys are at? What's your advice? Give us advice on how to like have a fun youth group.
I don't know what's going on, dude.
Give us advice
Kyle,
on how to
you answer
have
first.
Yeah, I got you.
have a fun youth group and give advice on how to navigate your walk with Jesus via the youth group and outside the youth group.
Make sure, as much as you are in the word here, you are at home. That's what I learned. I had to learn even in the last 6 months. Hey, finally, I got some applause on mine and not like you want to talk over me. No, I'm kidding. But
I want to go ahead and get on that one.
No, but seriously, you have to be reading your Bible just as much as you're coming to youth group and all that stuff, if not more. I know for me, for a long time, I would go to youth groups and then I'd be like, all right, that's enough for me for the week. I'm done. I go twice a week. I serve on Wednesdays. I get my stuff on Sunday. I'm done. And I think when we do that, like everyone says, like we always like Vaughn would say is like, don't have your parents' faith. Don't have your pastor's faith either. It's like
I've said that too, just so you know.
I don't know if you did. I'm Kyle Stewart. I'm trademarking that. But like the thing is like you have to be in your word at home, and don't just open your word and then be awake, barely awake, and read Psalms 23 and then not retain any of it. Be intentional. We actually talked about this in the group a couple weeks ago. Was Chad straight up asked us? He was like, "What's one thing you can do to like further your relationship as much as you can?"
What is one thing you can further your relationship, Kyle?
With God? Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, you are? Oh, I thought you were naming things. Okay.
No, you're good.
My bad.
It was, he asked, he was like, would it be serving? And he just named off a bunch. And I was like, to be honest with you, I think the best thing you can do, I was like, because I've served for years and I've served with behind the scenes, me being not the best person I could be. And the best thing that was for me to be 100% in was being intentional in my time in the Word.
Oh, okay.
Writing stuff down, like hearing God talk to me and things that stuck out. That's the stuff that helps, because then when you come into youth, you're ready to go.
The Word of God is sharper and active than any double-edged sword, right? It's active and sharper than any double-edged sword, right? And it's moving.
Yeah.
So why would we not want to be intentional, right?
Exactly. And I think I found myself even in the last, like, it was funny. It was like you said it right before we dipped out for Christmas, because we have that 2-week break.
Yeah.
It was straight up like, hey, what are you going to do in these 2 weeks? And usually I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I laughed about it in my head, and then I was like, how about I do something about it this time? And I did. And I haven't gone back since, in a sense. And I've just read my Bible almost every day since. And I've seen my stuff in my life that I was trying to weed out, just weed itself out in a sense. Like cuss words. I don't really cuss much anymore. Like behind doors, dude, mouth like a sailor. I'll say it now. Frickin', you cut me off in traffic, nah, not a good day.
But you're saying this, so have you overcome that if you're in the Word, though?
Oh, yeah, a lot better. Like, I still get angry sometimes, but less cuss words for sure. And the anger's going down slowly and slowly. I turn it into passive aggressiveness. If you wanted to have fun with your road rage, be passive aggressive instead. Don't be angry. It's fun.
It's a start. It's a start, but we would still move to passive aggressive.
Yeah, we got to get there. It's like stage 1, 2, and 3. Like 1 is anger, 2 is passive aggressive, and 3 is somehow you have the peace of God.
Somehow. It's intentionality.
It's intentionality, but it comes later. Passive aggressive, I found, is that stage lasts a lot longer than you would think.
And how do you become passive aggressive, Kyle?
It's still kind of anger a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still have to weed that out. It's just a little bit better. It's just like
it's not a little bit better, Kyle.
Yeah,
How are you passive aggressive in a car?
Dude, people will cut me off and I'll be like, all right, bro, it's cool.
Oh, okay. It's not. That's not as bad. But intentionality in the Word is vital.
Yeah.
Okay, seniors, what do you got? Kyle, feel free to interrupt at any point in these segments.
So
I'll be respectful.
I'm gonna talk about something.
I love my peers.
Well, it's something that Kyle doesn't really have, but and that is friendships.
Oh,
I mean, he ain't wrong.
I was gonna talk about
Yes, he
that.
does.
He invited me
I got
for
here
pity.
first. He looked at
Pity.
me. So, I'm kidding. Kyle's a good guy. Be friends with Kyle.
Depends on what day.
I'm friends with Kyle.
Yeah, be friends with Kyle.
Be friends with Kyle.
not all
I know.
Kyles.
Okay, actually,
We don't
I gotta
want
stop
him
on
to,
that one.
like-
Sorry. I did
Dude,
not.
I
want you
watched
to
a
recut.
movie. I watched a movie yesterday about a kid that like
Named
had
Kyle?
depression and tried to kill himself, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is what people go through. His like aunt molested him and all that stuff. It was weird. Anyway, friendships.
And condoms can
What?
That's a bar right there, ladies and gentlemen.
So
We get it. You have a job, Mattie. We get it.
I just need to be on time. I'm supposed to have a talking to today because
Uh-oh.
you suck at your job?
no.
Yeah, we'll do these and then we'll cut out.
The other day, I was closing and I forgot to take out the trash in the bathroom.
Ooh. But it's little things, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be a big old adult, you
Is
said
that
earlier.
gingivitis?
And you can't.
I know.
2 o'clock.
2.
Yeah, she's good. She's signed up for this.
Okay, so friendships.
She's getting paid.
What I mean by that is like
Not really.
not your stereotypical friendships. I mean like good, godly, faith-filled friendships. Like people go to school and they go and hang out with their friends, and their friends are bad influences on them. They're going and drinking and getting high on the weekends. The friends that you need are the friends that are diving into their words, that you're doing Bible studies with. The friends that you can go to for anything. Like, hey man, I'm struggling with this right now. Like, I'm struggling with this anxiety. I'm struggling with this depression. And instead of judging you, they're going to be like, what are we going to do? What do we need to do? I'm going to stand by you this whole time.
Find Christ-like friendships.
Christ-like
At the
friendships.
core.
That is the most important thing because, guys, I'm going to tell you, youth group will not be as effective without those core relationships. Like, I don't think if I would have made friends with some of the people that I did so early on into my youth group adventure, I would have stayed. Because I came when I was in 6th grade, but I left because I was too afraid to start talking to people. So Christ-like friendships at the center of everything. They are the people who are going to lift you up and get you closer to God at the end of the day.
Yep.
Mattie, your turn.
Okay, I think kind of bouncing off of both Bryce and Kyle.
Ginger.
Would you prefer ginger or gingivitis victim?
I don't care. Anyways,
That's tough.
so
You didn't answer the question. What do you prefer?
I don't have a preference actually.
They're both awesome.
Yeah, they're both amazing. So I think the biggest thing to really okay, I don't know exactly how to word this, but I think becoming okay with being lonely. Does that make sense? No? Let me explain. So Bryce is talking about.
Yeah, you would have to explain for
Hi,
me.
this
for
is
sure.
your story. This is my story.
Okay.
Please help me out.
What
Here,
in the
fill me
Hulu
out.
channel
Okay,
is this?
did I say alone or lonely?
Lonely?
Lonely.
Oh, I meant alone.
I wasn't
Sorry.
paying attention.
Let me rephrase
Be okay
that.
with being alone?
Be okay with being alone. Now
Oh,
let me
well, that's
explain.
different than being
yeah,
lonely.
that's what I
Yeah.
accidentally said on accident. Anyways, so even though Bryce and Kyle are talking about, like find your friends, find your people, blah blah blah. The closer you are to the cross, the less of a crowd there's gonna be. And I think the biggest thing that you have to realize when you're walking with the Lord is that it's okay.
Bless you.
It's okay
Thank
to
you.
be alone sometimes in it. You're not always going to find friends right off the bat. You're not always going to have community. You're not always going to have specific people that you can go to, but to know that you have the Lord is like the sole purpose of really growing your relationship with him, right? It's realizing that when all is stripped away, all you do have is him. And so one of the biggest things that even I had to learn with my walk with the Lord is that it's okay to be alone sometimes. It's okay to not have as many friends as you did before when your life was when you walked worldly and whenever you went this different way. Like when you start to encounter the Lord and when you start to walk with him, you're going to see less of a crowd. You're going to see less people wanting to be your friend. You're going to see less people that want to talk to you all the time, that want to invite you to their birthday or whatever the heck it may be. Like, you're not going to have that as much, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, going back, like Bryce is saying, like you have to find those godly friendships because that's the only way you're going to really like grow with people and do life with people. And so just taking a second and realizing that it's okay to be alone, because we all go through stages where we do feel alone. We go through stages where we just like feel like we're kind of battling these things by ourselves because we don't have this community around us. And in like all reality, I truly believe it's because God wants to reveal to us, like, all these things are stripped away because all you need is me. And I think that realizing that is a big step in like growing your faith and really being okay with where you are with the Lord.
Be okay with where you are with the Lord.
But don't stay in it.
That's really good. Did you find that after or during your lonely season?
I kind of found that like towards the end. I think I considered a lonely season until I started to realize that, because a big thing was I felt like I was kind of like, I felt a lot different than the people around me. I felt different than the people I went to school with, because I was like, yeah, like I cuss. I mean, yeah, there's some times that I do, but you know, I don't really cuss. I
know.
don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't
He said,
vape. I don't do all these things. I'm not disrespectful to my parents and to my teachers.
Youth
And
pastors.
it's like, yeah, and your youth pastors or whatever. And
No respect around these.
I
so
love you, Vaughn.
Thanks, dude.
I love you, Vaughn.
and so I think that at the beginning of that season where I just felt so like different and like I was battling things that other people weren't because I did believe in something greater, I considered it like lonely, like, oh, I'm so lonely. But then like literally whenever I started to realize that the Lord was protecting me from those people, but also showing me that he was the only person that I needed, that's whenever it started to kind of shift for me and be like, no, like this season you're just alone, but with me. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Amen. I think that's good.
That was really good. Your rings were like, there's a lot going on in the hand. I was like, that's crazy. There it is. The Pentecostal came out again.
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
What are your guys' hopes and prayers for coming in this next season of your guys' lives? What have you been praying for? What do you want to navigate?
I'm praying that God watches over the people that I'm leaving.
That's real.
That even though I might not be with you all the time, that we are connected through Christ. So to all my really good friends, to my family, to my little cousins, to my grandparents, and to my parents, like, we might be far across, but Christ will always connect us. And that I will be praying for you guys, that you guys will be okay. And even though I might be leaving, this isn't the end of our story. It's just a new chapter.
Mattie?
One of my biggest hopes is that the Lord was able to use me in this specific season of my life. I talk a lot about legacy because I think it's important in what you leave behind. And I don't care if that's through set apart or through school or literally me saying something funny and you thought it was funny. Like, I don't care what it was.
Some people wouldn't think it's funny.
Yeah, it's not, you know, okay, anyways.
Oh, I've been there. Those are awkward moments when you say something.
Going back,
You have a lot of them.
I just pray
I know.
that the Lord used me in this season to what he could have, and I pray that there's nothing that I do regret coming out of it, and that there's nothing that my peers regret either, like coming out of graduation, like, oh, I wish I could have done this in high school or done this, because there's no point in dwelling in the past. We're literally moving on. And so I just really prayed that we all left something behind that someone can grow from, and that the Lord really used us to what he could have.
Love that.
For me, I would say is I really hope I can grow in these next few years. Like, I feel like sometimes with people with their young adult season, they're like, a lot of them just turn to like partying and all that stuff. And I that won't be me. So I'm hoping these next, I say 5 years. That's kind of like, I kind of plan out 5 years.
Okay.
Is like, this next 5 years is I grow in maturity because God knows I need that. And in spiritual maturity too. And just hoping to be the man he has created me to be. I really want to try to strive to go forward with that, especially with working in the church and all that other stuff and wanting to go into ministry. I really hope he shapes me in my life to go towards that. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Because I really felt God tell me, like, you're not done in this youth ministry yet. Like, he straight up, I remember I was walking in one day and I literally heard him say, you're not done yet. You're not ready to take off from here yet. You still have something to give. Do I know what that is? No. But there's something else he wants me to give and be able to pour into this ministry before I take off and start my own ministry.
Wow, that's cool, man. I love that. I love when you know and you feel his presence and it's like, man, that's cool. That's
Well, yeah, 'cause,
exciting.
like,
that's
Crazy
cool.
thing is everyone's like, you're not going to college? You want to be a youth pastor and you're not going to college? And I'm like, okay, here's what I'm going to say to that. For all of you people who do, you probably watch this. Praying on my downfall. But like,
Mom, this is
yeah,
to you.
Mom, this is to you. She's the biggest supporter. I don't even know why I can say that. I literally prayed for what to do after high school back in like January, February of this year. No clue what I needed to do. Did I need to go to college? Did I not need to? We were kind of figuring it out. Do I need to go intern somewhere? Like, me and Vaughn had a ton of talks about this. I kid you not. This dude, Bryce, pen camera over there, that dude was like, yep, I'm going to the Army. And I was thinking, he does one of the Hills kids rooms for the kids ministry. And I was like, what?
You.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something else.
Sorry.
I was like, man, that means his job will be up for grabs. And I literally was cleaning a classroom because that's what I do. And I was like, man, if they offered me the job, I'd take it. I kid you not, 3 days later, Bryce comes running out of the cafe and offers me the job. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that as a sign from God. Of like, you're not ready to go off to college. You're ready to do this job. I was like, okay. I was like, but man, that's kind of like a part-time job. I was like, man, I'd need a full-time job. I get another full-time position at the church right after that. So I was like, okay, so that means I don't need to go to college. That was literally God telling me, like, maybe college one day, if that's where you need to go, but for now, you don't need to.
Nah, that's a word, bro. That's confirmation, clarification. Even if you don't have it, you can go to the cross, go to the Lord, seek Him out daily. Thankful for you guys, Bryce, Mattie, Kyle. Thank you guys for all that you do, leaving a legacy behind. Your callings in the ministry, callings in new careers in life. You guys are taking it on, and you're putting Christ first, and that's the most important thing. Let me pray for you guys, and we'll close up this episode. God, we thank you so much for these youth that have been on the podcast, the leaders, the workers in the community, Graham and G and Zeke that have been on the sidelines, God, doing the production. God, we're thankful for them. Thankful for their voices. And God, I just pray that you'll continue to work through these seniors. God, it's cool that they're closing this chapter and they're going to a new area, a new season, and that can be scary. But there's also excitement of, God, I want these next few years to be, I want them to be successful. And God, the only way that we can see that through in our lens of successful and yours is different. So may we seek out what you have and your will be done. And may we be at peace with whatever your will is. And God, I know life has its ups and downs. And may these three grow. And the seniors that are part of our youth ministry, not on this podcast, may they thrive in these next few years. God, may they connect to you. You're the vine, Lord. And God, may you just intercede through us. God, as we incline our ear to you, let your word speak loud in their next steps. For Mattie, for schooling, for Kyle, for the job position, as Bryce enters the military. God, there's so many things going on in their minds, but may they find calmness in the chaos. And God, I just know that you're going to move through them individually. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys for joining the episode. Make sure to share this one. Tell a senior to watch this one. Important things were shared in here on how to look forward to next steps and connect to youth group, local youth group, guys. Love you guys. Stay humble and hustle hard.